Thanks to the support as a channel member, Ollie Collins. Well, we've just about managed to scrap our way back to the top of the table, but now we have arguably the biggest domestic game of the entire season. Not arguably, it is the biggest domestic game of the entire season. We go away to Dortmund, knowing that a win here, we're just about there as far as winning the league goes. Hello and welcome to Club 5, Part 15 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we are away against Borussia Dortmund and then at home against Schalke, both in the Bundesliga. Since you were last with me, we have continued our good form. We've conceded a few goals around the place here and there, but I think we're still in single figures for the season domestically. Shall we have a look at the league table and double check? It doesn't tell us. Oh no, that's handy. There must be a more detailed view. We've conceded 4 goals all season, but Wolfsburg, who are the surprise package of the season, they've only conceded 5. They've only lost 1 game, which I think was against us. And they are pushing us all the way. We're 10 points clear of Dortmund, but Dortmund aren't even the big competition now. It's all about having Wolfsburg just pushing us and pushing us and pushing us. They're pushing us as hard as we pushed Dortmund last year. But hopefully we'll come out of all this with a similar outcome to what Dortmund did last year. I want to see what happened when we played Wolfsburg. Where's the Wolfsburg game? We beat them 1-0 away back in September. We must play them again relatively soon. We do play them relatively soon. And also, who we play, who you'll be seeing in tomorrow's video, is Tottenham. We face Tottenham in the first knockout round of the Champions League, and we finally get to see how this team measures up to that team, which I think is going to be very interesting. But that is a story for tomorrow. Today's story is the story of Dortmund, and this is the team we're putting out there to try and beat them. We need to beat them. We've got Ferron in goal, a back four of Krajcu, Tigges, Banfalvi and Dombrowski, Vermonti at the base of the midfield with Andre and Lust ahead of him, Van der Hoek, O'Hara and Thorgerson are our front 3. I'm actually looking at this thinking this is probably a good occasion to just drop things back a little bit and not go full on offensive. We're still going to go in there with an attacking mentality, but just drop a couple of those players back a little bit and maybe just show Dortmund just a smidgen of respect, he says, turning up at their place with loads of their old players. But I'm showing them respect, so it's okay. I hope I don't come to regret that. They've obviously got an old player of ours up front in the shape of Heleno, who broke everybody's hearts last year with his 94th minute goal on the last day of the season that took the trophy out of our hands. And as you can see, Dortmund, after a shaky start, are returning to their normal form. They're third in form, we're first in form. I can only assume Wolfsburg then a second. And the 3 of us are unlikely to drop a lot of points for the rest of the season. Hoffenheim were obviously well in the mix last year as well. They're down in 4th place. And I mean, there's that little pack of Hoffenheim, Leipzig and Borussia Mönchengladbach who make up the rest of the European spots. Heleno is in early on and Ferron, thankfully, makes a good save. Less than 30 seconds on the clock. If Heleno had scored there, he moves even further up the list of greatest mistakes, signing him and then selling him without even playing him. Because he's been a good player for them. He's definitely their star man. Now we've taken all of their previous star men away, but I don't know. I still can't imagine he's as good as Van der Hoek or Thorgerson or O'Hara or Miguel's or Gashi or all these other attacking options that we've got. I don't even think he's an Antonio Carlos. And I know you lot are all big Antonio Carlos fans. Heleno is in again here though, and I don't know what's just happened. That has gone under Ferron's body, and that is not part of the script for today. I'm not sure what's got. We're nearly 50 games unbeaten in the league, and if our unbeaten run goes like that, I'm going to be mortified, because that's the first poor piece of goalkeeping I've ever seen from Ferron, and it has to be in a massive game like this one. And now Dortmund trying to come away with it again, but Banfalvi's just taking the ball off of Heleno. Banfalvi has no business charging down that right wing, but he's there anyway. And we're continuing to press, and O'Hara's done brilliantly there. Squares it for Thorgerson, who had the keeper beat, but there's a defender in the way. And we're putting some pressure on here. It's back to Dombrowski, who couldn't quite get there ahead of the Dortmund player, but we just had a big chance. 2 former Dortmund players combining in the shape of O'Hara and Thorgerson but couldn't quite force the ball over the line. O'Hara did brilliantly. You've got to say, Thorgerson should have done a little bit better. And I'm disappointed to see that we're still trailing as we head towards half-time. Kryju's having a poor game. Kryju's just been named in the World Team of the Year along with Banfalvi, and we had another 3 or 4 of our players on the bench, but those 2 were in the starting 11. Interestingly, with David Kidd, who now plays for Manchester United, if you remember him, off of Tottenham. Right, we need to get aggressive. Where's your passion, lads? Forget 10 minutes of passion. We want 45 minutes of passion. We're pushing these guys back to their attacking versions to try and get them more involved and get more chances created, and all the reasons we made that change in the first place. And then I've tweaked things and caused myself a problem by tweaking. Don't tweak for a big game, Kev. It's never the right time to tweak. We're trying to nip the ball back there, and we do. It's with Van der Hoek, who plays it back to Tigges, who's looking up, finds Andre. Tigges was on the bench for the World Team of the Year, along with, I think, Lust and Gashi were the other ones who made it into that team. O'Hara now looking to get past his man, and he's won a penalty. And this could be a massive start to the second half. First, we need the penalty given. The penalty is given, and now we need the penalty to be converted. Can't use my words. It's Lust to take, and he scored a couple recently, and he scored another one today. Germany's captain, Bayern Munich's captain, an 8th goal of the season for Florian Lust, and he wants to add more trophies to his burgeoning trophy cabinet that already includes a World Cup winners medal and, of course, a German Cup medal from last year. The man's flooded with wonderful accolades. But he wants to add a Bundesliga to that collection. He wants to add the Champions League to that collection. But we're not thinking about the Champions League today. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Today is about the Bundesliga. And as nice as it would be to come here and draw and know that we've faced Dortmund twice, got a draw and a win across our 2 games, a draw here, if Wolfsburg win their game later on this weekend, a draw here actually does send us off of the top of the league once again. And it took us a long time to win that spot back. Wolfsburg are utterly relentless. We're bringing on Thumb and Miguel's on that left-hand side to try and get some things going over there. We're going to ask for some creativity as well with 20 minutes to go. O'Hara plays it back to Dombrowski. Vermonti now, who has a lot of transfer interest in him this transfer window. Both him and Marquez have been the subject of close to £100 million offers from Atletico and Arsenal, respectively. Bartolet's actually gone out on loan for the rest of the season to Liverpool in a little piece of transfer news. Dombrowski's done brilliantly there, though. And there is Andre, the former Dortmund man, makes it 2-1 on 73 minutes, and it's a lovely finish from Andre from a wonderful piece of wing play from Dombrowski, who, dare I say it, is back to his best now after a very ropey end to last season, and an iffy start to this one where he was struggling to get in the side ahead of Kryju with Thumb in there on the left-hand side, but Dombrowski back to his best there. Lovely cross, lovely goal, and now we just need to not mess up for the last 10 minutes, and it's lovely to have Gashi to bring off the bench in situations like that. We are blessed with a lot of very, very, very good football players. Lust, with the corner, their keeper just plucks it out the sky and is looking for the quick counter-attack, but Tigges intercepts, and he's trying to keep an attack going here, which is, I mean, it's a little bit more. I would have just been happy with him getting hold of the ball and not letting Dortmund have it, but he's trying to get things moving. Hopefully we don't come to regret it. Banfalvi's across there to cover and finds O'Hara with space to run into again. He's got Dombrowski supporting him, but plays it back to Vermonti, who's come up to join the attack. He then finds Dombrowski, who's skipped past his man. Cross comes in. Miguel's can't get there, but it falls to Andre again, and Andre scored again. And it's another lovely finish from Andre. He's not known as a goal scorer, and he hasn't scored there because it's been disallowed somehow. Because Miguel's is offside even though he doesn't touch the ball. There has been some dodgy offsides in this series this season. In both, just in FM20 in general, offsides are dodgy. That never was one. And if we now go and concede a goal up at the other end, we've been robbed by VAR. I mean, I hear that happens occasionally in real life too. Miguel's looking to get a break on here, though. He's got Gashi supporting him. He skips past his man. It's a decent save from their keeper, pushes it off the line, and it's back behind for another corner. And we've got another opportunity to try and go to try and get a 2-goal cushion in this game. Their keeper plucks it out of the air again, though. He's had a good game. For a man who's conceded a couple of goals, he looks looks like a half-decent goalkeeper. Maybe we might have to go Dortmund shopping again. Thumb. Back to Tigges, and now Andre, loads of space, finds Miguel's, also in loads of space. Dortmund pushing men forward here and leaving gaps for us to try and exploit at the other end, but they've actually won the ball back and are looking for a counter-attack of their own, and we leave our own gaps. It's end-to-end stuff, but Gashi is in here. Gashi, surely, and he can't convert it, and it's yet another corner. There's 5 minutes of added time just been announced. There's going to be another goal in this yet. I just don't know which way it's going to go. Lust with the corner. It's headed clear, but only as far as Andre, hovering around on the edge of the area, who's had a fantastic game today. Vermonti across to Banfalvi now. Plays it back to Dombrowski, and the move just kind of peters out. There's 2.5 minutes left. There's 30 seconds left. There's no time left. We've beaten Dortmund away from home. That is a massive result. Dortmund are out of the title race. We're 13 points clear of them now. But Wolfsburg are still going to be a little bit of a problem because they're presumably going to keep that gap to just 1. And they're the team that we now need to keep an eye on. And we play them very, very soon. And I was planning on showing you both legs of Tottenham. But what we might do tomorrow is Wolfsburg and the first leg of Tottenham and just miss out the Frankfurt game in between. Because I think that Wolfsburg game is now must-see viewing. But we're now going to show Schalke. We are still in the middle of a transfer window in which we've got £237 million to spend and no current FFP problems. So, I don't plan on buying a player. I can't imagine what player I would buy. But you know what I'm like. I might just go and break a transfer record before the next match if the mood takes me. I certainly would have done if we hadn't won that game. That's for sure. I'd have bought 3 more Dortmund players. I managed not to sign anybody so far. It's still 6:30 on deadline day, so there's still a chance I'll sneak one in before bed tonight. But we've just made one change for the game against Schalke. Gashi is in for O'Hara, and other than that, it's... I'm just rotating like 1 or 2 of the attacking talent every game. So today is Gashi's turn. The next match, which you won't see, Van der Hoek will probably drop out and Miguel's will come in for a game. Gashi might go up front with Thorgerson dropping out and O'Hara coming back in. But we're just trying to rotate them around and keep them all fit and keep them all in form. Right, we want to do the one where we carry on where we left off. Is that an option? Just no relaxing. Goodness me. I expect nothing but a win from... we'll do that one. That's fine. Interestingly, Wolfsburg did draw. It was either earlier today or yesterday. So as it stands right now, we do have a 2-point gap with a game in hand on them. So a win here starts to open up a little bit of gap at the top of the table and gives us just a little bit of bottle space. And we like a little bit of bottle space. I've just noticed I didn't just notice, as I was reading the teams out and talking about something else, my eyes were wandering, and I noticed Orlando is up front for Schalke. I assume that's the same Orlando who he had at Spurs. Gashi's just scored his 16th goal of the season, though, so we're not gonna go and put a curse on the game by checking out an opposition player, because we know what happens if we check out an opposition player. But this is some good football. Andre involved again. Van der Hoek, who's not scored as many goals this year, but then he's not played as many games, finds Gashi, who has scored far more goals this year, despite not playing as many games. But then, to be fair, he's played more games up front than he ever did before because of O'Hara arriving on the right-hand side. So I guess that explains why he's scoring more goals. I think Gashi might be our top scorer currently. Lust looking to create something, finds Gashi, who plays it back to Lust, who can't quite get hold of the ball. But Andre is doing something that's making the game glitch and skip and go all over the place. It's happening a little bit too often lately. Might be time for Kev to get a new PC. If only there wasn't a crisis going on that was affecting money and stuff. It's just going to have to skip every now and again for 6 months. Or however long it's going to be. Please don't let it be longer than that. Thorgerson has just scored, though. That's his 12th goal of the season. Good work by Van der Hoek. Plays it back to Kryju. And Thorgerson just gets there ahead of the goalkeeper, ahead of the defender, makes it 2-0. Still not even 10 minutes on the clock. But that's our second goal. And as you can see from that beautiful looking league table, as things stand, 5 points clear at the top of the league after 20 games. A huge goal difference advantage. And a pretty a pretty clear run in now with both Dortmund games out the way. Yes, we've got Wolfsburg that you'll be seeing tomorrow, but a win against Wolfsburg in that game, having already beaten them away from home, if we can beat them in that home game as well, we could potentially find ourselves going into the Champions League knockout rounds already, 8 points clear at the top of the table, with the Bundesliga, dare I say it, all but one, so that we could focus fully on a Champions League campaign that it looks like if we're going to get to the final again this year, we're going to have to do it the hard way if we've got to get past Spurs, because we know Spurs are a good team and it's not the quarterfinals yet, so they're not due to get knocked out. They like to drop just before the final hurdle. They don't usually drop out this early on. Dombrowski plays it to Lust, back to Vermonti, who's almost certainly going to be looking forward to meeting up with some of his former teammates. Vermonti plays it out to Kryju, who's looking to create something again, finds Vermonti again. Van der Hoek is in so much space, it's ridiculous, and scores just his 4th goal of the season from our top scorer last year. He doesn't need to score as many goals now. He's more of a squad player this year, but showing that when asked to do it, he can still do absolutely beautiful things. And that was a lovely move, brilliantly worked, got Van der Hoek in loads of space, and it's a very, very tidy finish as well for 3-0. And our unbeaten run continues, and we're looking good. We are a good team, playing well, in great form, on a long unbeaten run. Things are looking good for Bayern Munich. And the most surprising thing of all is that I'm going to end a transfer window with £200 million plus still in my transfer budget, which is something I don't think I've ever done before. In all my years playing Football Manager, I'm going to end a transfer window with more transfer budget than I ever got given at Tottenham. I came here for the money and now I'm not even spending it. I know I spent a lot at the start, but even I've run out of things to spend money on. There is a finite number of players you can go and buy, because I don't know what we could bring into this team to make it better. Yes, we've talked before about bringing in a 5-star quality goalkeeper, but we've also established there isn't one, because Ferron's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And outside of that, it would be nice to have some real world-class competition for Vermonti, but I don't necessarily want to go and spend £150 million on what's essentially going to be a backup player, because I'm not going to rotate very often with my favourite player, Vermonti. So I don't feel the need to spend. It feels a bit weird. But there's confirmation that we've just won our 8th game in a row. On top of that, it's like 55 games unbeaten or something ridiculous like that now. Not in all competitions, because we lost in the Champions League. Twice, obviously, because we lost in the final way back when as well. But we've not lost in the league since... when was it? So they were 2 Champions League games. The last time we lost a domestic game was back in September of the previous year when we lost to Augsburg. Oh, that's a silly result. If we'd have won that, we'd have won the league last year. Right, Wolfsburg and Spurs tomorrow. We'll know a lot more about how this season's going to shape up once we've played those 2 games. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.